Oh, hey, here we are. Hi, everybody. My name is Shadrad, or I don't know how people know me. I have used too many names in my time online. And I am here today to show you guys some tips and techniques for taking nice model capture photography. I have with me here everybody's favorite fashion frame aficionado, Hydroxate. Say hello.
Hello.
So, for the moment, it's just me, and I'm showing off my default Zephyr in the, what is this, the hologram scene in the Corpus ship. Um, this is probably my favorite scene to do capture in just for basic model shots because it's pretty easy to light. And I'll show you some examples of what I've done here and how to get those done. But first, a little bit about myself, because I know nobody knows who I am, and that's fine. I like it that way. I have done some art that's been on primetime sometimes, and no, really, that's about it. Yeah. But rather than show some really boring drawing stuff, I decided to do something a little more topical, because that's what I have to offer. And normally I actually wouldn't be doing streaming stuff because I'm not really set up for it and I'm not used to it, as you'll probably be able to tell. But when I heard that Warframe was doing a breast cancer fundraiser event, I knew I really needed to get involved because breast cancer is a disease that is hit really close to home with me and my family, and it's something that's really important to me. I know that this charity, the National Breast Cancer Foundation, has a great rating on Charity Navigator, and I did want to talk a little bit about, everybody donates money for charity for breast cancer research, and not a lot of people know what that actually means. And so a foundation like the National Breast Cancer Foundation, with the funds that they get, they will allocate them and grant them to research labs and hospitals and treatment centers to help them in the really arduous task of developing breast cancer treatment. Not a lot of people know, but the work that is being done and the discoveries being made in cancer research labs these days are incredible, and they're so promising. The problem is that the money that it takes to take, a promising lead treatment and do the human testing required to get FDA approval costs a lot of money, like more money than is really reasonable, but that's the way it is. And so the kind of money that we're trying to raise here today will go to not only research institutes, but to help develop new treatments, but also to programs that help care for people in treatment, for survivors, for people with stage 4 cancer, and otherwise just trying to improve the whole picture around breast cancer. So I really hope that you guys will donate to support this really important charity, really important cause. I mean, I know right now in the world it's kind of, we're running a little dry. There's a lot going on, and we've been as generous as we can be, but anything you can do, even if it's just sharing the stream, sharing the link, that'd be super appreciated. So that done, let me show you guys some of the capture that I've done before that I'll be trying to show you guys kind of what that will look like. All right. So these are the kind of model shots that I end up doing in this scene. So they're all kind of funky, and they have a very similar lighting scheme, but I'll show you why in a minute. But they look pretty nice, and they're pretty, you know, pretty presentable. I used a lot of these for the promotional images for this 100-hour stream, and tried to get them as ubiquitous as possible. Very pink, very blue. So to do that in this scene, I'll show you my favorite spot. And that is right down here by the electricity thing. Alright. So the first thing I do is I go in and take away the grain, because I do not like that. And I also take the field of view down to nothing. And the reason I do that is because it will give you a less distorted image, and it will give you a lot more detail. Field of view, for if this is a term from photography, it's basically, if you look at hotel rooms, and they look a lot bigger on the website, and then you get there and they're actually quite small. That's because they've used a lens with a larger field of view to make it look, they'll take in a lot more of what's outside, and make it look a lot bigger than it actually is. So I like to start here. And that is a very boring image, isn't it? I don't know if you guys are interested in learning any of the crappy artistic terminology about what makes a good picture and what doesn't, but I guess I'll... Hydroxide, do you want to know? Are you interested? Are you still eating your sandwich?
I'm eating my sandwich, but I'm also, I think I might be handy, because some people may not realize and just kind of randomly click sliders like, what the hell does that mean? Alright, so I'll go over some of the sliders. So the top ones here are based, well, it's even labeled camera, how about that? They're based off of real-life photography terminology and technology. So depth of field is where the camera image is focusing. So what's going to be, in focus and sharp, and what's going to be blurry. So the first slider is, you can see, I don't know if you can see it moving from background to the foreground, even closer. And the second slider affects how wide that area will be. So the area that's going to be in focus, you can make it larger or very, very narrow. So if I make it very narrow, I can even get it to just highlight like one part. So right here, I've got it just on her arm, and I can move it elsewhere. And for some shots, it works out very well. Other shots, it's a little too extreme. So somewhere in the middle is usually a pretty good idea. And the distance is something you will have to be playing a lot with as you're composing your shots, because when you move your camera, it will get all funky. The exposure is based on when light... nobody cares about film anymore. Anyway, if you push it all the way up, it gets a lot brighter. And if you push it all the way down, it gets a lot darker. And that's just based on how much light it's taking in to the camera. We've gone over field of view already. Woo! And I will adjust this sometimes, and I'll show you why later. And it just has to do with some of the geometry issues with the camera in the Captura program. Filters, y'all played with those before. I will just choose whatever works for the shot. Usually cross-process is one of my favorites, otherwise I just stick with neutral. The grain is to make it artsy. I really don't like it, because I can add that stuff in Photoshop if I like it. And saturation... What? Oh, sorry, we have a question.
Oh.
Nova Gem said, what if sliders don't work, like his sliders don't do absolutely anything?
That sounds like a bug. And I actually would not be surprised if it's a bug, because I actually have a recurring bug in my Captura. If you'll actually look at the menu in the right-hand bottom corner, and you see where it says the first one of Ascend, is the X button on a controller. I don't have a controller, and while spacebar used to make the camera ascend, it no longer does, and so I actually have to just kind of drive it around. So I would contact DE on the forums about that. Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so second part is lights. They're pretty self-explanatory, and they went over that when they released Captura. But basically, they've given you 3 light sources that surround your Warframe at different angles. And you can change the color of the lights, you can change how bright they are, you can change their orientation to some degree, and you can change the light sources in the scene, how bright or how dim they are. I find that there's no real rhyme or reason to making them work, because a lot of it depends on where you're standing in the scene and what you're going for, and so it takes the most amount of time, I think, playing around with these. But since I'm going to show you for this one something like what I did for the promotional images, I just went ahead and took them 2 pinks and a blue, and this process, and drop the scene light. So when you drop the scene light, it gets rid of a lot of the interference of the other light in the room. Again, I like this area because we have a really cool light source right here that gives you those cool god rays. And I like to take advantage of those because it makes it look pretty. Sapient Prophet, the settings are in, they're part of Captura. You hit G when you're in there, and then you hit X, and that will bring up the more specific settings. There we go. So the bottom settings are for more of the interactive stuff. So like if you want to add enemies to your scene, if you want to shoot your friends' friends. I like to turn on the slow motion to the 0.5 because it slows it down, and it but doesn't make it too annoyingly slow. And you'll see what that does when I go back here. Just a little slowed down. And this is really useful for when you want to catch a specific kind of action. So in this case, I want to get a picture of her casting, not tailwind, yeah, turbulence. So I'll hit the power, in this case 3, and then hit G really fast, because G will pause it. And when you turn the slow motion, that'll give you a lot more time to kind of catch it. Then you can use the T button to move time forward bit by bit. And you can see the animation. There we go, that's kind of cool. So you can get it to a place where you like the effects that you're seeing. I think it's really cool. And sometimes you'll have to cast the powers a couple times just so you kind of get used to what the animation looks like. That's kind of neat. So the other setting that I find to be really important is to remove the capture dialogue. And because when you hit F6, which is the in-game screenshot function, it gives you this great informational message that I have absolutely no use for, because I take a lot of Captura and I know where they're put. So I will just turn that right off so I can hit F6 to my delight, and it doesn't interrupt what I want to do. let's see. So that's, I mean, that's the super duper basics of getting a, you know, interesting lighting in a shot like this. Any questions so far? I guess I'm your teacher now. That's dumb.
Miss Shadrad.
What?
Miss Shadrad.
Miss Shadrad. Oh boy. Yeah, that makes me feel old. Let's see. So, well, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Hydroxide will be watching the chat for me to bring it to my attention, because I'm just so engrossed in what I'm doing. It's hard to pay it. No, I'm just kidding. So here's actually a very... What?
The question from Style006. Can you change the energy color after the shot?
No, unfortunately. The shot will just be whatever you have in the frame at the time. However, if, let's say, like, I really like that shot, but I did not like the color. One nice thing they added to Capture is you can hit escape to get your menu, go into your arsenal, and then you can change the stuff you don't care for. So let's say that we felt it would be better in nice orange color. So change your palettes to orange. Gonna go back. Now, one thing, when you do use the arsenal, it will reset certain settings, which is a little annoying. I guess in this case, it wasn't so bad. But then I can go, say, hit 3 again. Move time forward. Alright, so that looks pretty cool, but, so here's some color theory for you. I've chosen a redder energy color, and it kind of blends a lot with the red light that I have on her, and she kind of blends into the background, and I don't think that looks very good. So I am going to change this color into something a little different. Maybe that green. Rotate it so you see more of it. And actually yellow will probably be better. Nope, I was wrong. Green works pretty good.
Another question for you, Shadrad.
Sure, what's up?
Enigma Prime 01 is wondering, how do you get the Captura?
Oh, well, Captura is in your appearance tab. I'll actually exit out so I can show you how to get into it. Select your ship. Thank you, that's nice. Thanks, Barrow. Cool to see you're here. So when you're in your arsenal on your ship, and you go to your Warframe and to the appearance tab, down here at the bottom, you'll see Capture, and that will be in every Warframe. So any Warframe you choose, go to appearance tab, it will be down there. And when you click on it, you can then access your selection of Capture scenes, of which I have most of them, but not all of them. And of course, I only use like one of them, so that's pretty sad. Later, I hope to actually experiment with some of the ones that I have not played with, so that could be fun. One thing that's also cool is that while you're in Capture, you can move to other Capture scenes without having to go back to your ship. Although it does reset all of your settings. So I will have to put those back. Let's go back down to my favorite area. Alright. Field there. Exposure down a bit, field to go down. Process green, no. 3 lights, yes. Let's go back to that green. Fill light. And blue. Light is fine. I'll change the rotation later. Scene light down. Slow motion on. And yes, I do this every time. Now, while we have a lot of cool weapons equipped, I actually find that I
don't always end up using them. Sometimes they look weird with the animations, and I really just want to focus on the Warframe itself to look cool. A fun tip is if you go into, hit Q and you go into your inventory, select your scanner, either the Samara scanner or just a regular one, and because they don't actually have animation or graphics for it in the game, your hands are now empty. Which means you can do all sorts. You can do poses without any guns hanging around. You can do your powers without having, you know, before I had the Arca standing up there. Now it looks a little more natural. Let's see. There we go. So that's fun. So a basic thing for it, so, you know, just taking a head-on shot like this is usually actually not a very good picture. A lot of people, when they do photography, they just kind of, you know, point the camera at the thing, take the picture, and they're done. A shortcut for taking more dynamic pictures is to change the angle up a little bit. So instead of, you know, doing a straight on or a straight profile, go at it at a bit of an angle. Go, let's see, what's a good angle for her? Well, all of them are good because she's beautiful. But start to the side, and I like to bring the camera down as far as it can go. In this case, that's not very far because, again, collision. But it just brings the Warframe's point of focus towards this upper third of the screen, and I think that looks a lot better. You can even move it over so it's that part of the screen. So she's over here. This is actually a pretty nice desktop background looking thing, right? Let's see. What was another fun thing that I could show people? Any other questions for the moment? Well, I'm trying to remember what I was going to show you guys.
Wobbs is wondering what mine and your favorite Warframes for capture are.
Ooh. I mean, I would say Zephyr because it's Zephyr. But I surprisingly had the most amount of fun with Atlas. And I guess I'll show you one of the reasons why. My Atlas, I did what I thought was a pretty cool fashion frame.
I'd have to say that mine's probably I do like Zephyr, but Boban Prime.
I haven't tried anything with him yet.
Always swings the traps, so you can get quite good action shots.
Alright, here's my boy. Alright, take off the gun, because you don't need a gun, because you're Atlas, you're just gonna punch things. So, this is my Atlas fashion frame. He is mostly gray and black. And the reason that this is really good for doing capture, especially in a scene like this, is because when you choose a color like white or gray, and when it's been PBR'd and the texture is kind of matte or not too super shiny, the different color lights do a lot more on them. So it shows a lot more of the color as opposed to just kind of being a hint of color. So in this case, I can do... Oh, look. Oh, no! Oh, when did that happen? Oh, gross. Ruined. Thanks, Nidus. Well, we'll pretend that doesn't exist. Jeez Louise. Alright. So I've chosen just one of these pinks, and you see, like, it is super saturated and bright where it hits his gray, only slightly shiny material. And so that means that you can get a lot more dramatic color effects. So let's see, I'm gonna make this one also pink, and then I'm gonna make some fill light to a different color, maybe. Sure, that'll do. And
Chance reacting to the score.
I know, it's awful. Jeez. Another thing that can make the color stand out more is if you take the scene light down. And what that does, as I mentioned before, it takes a lot of the extra bouncing and emissions out of the scene, which will detract from the strength of your light emissions. So it'll make it pop out a little more, it'll make it a little stronger, plus a less distracting background so you can really focus. So in this case, here he is with those super cool god rays, ready to just punch stuff, because that's what he does. He's a punch guy.
Big Jim is wondering, what is the name of your cyst?
Oh, I don't name them because I kill them before they can bother me too much. I mean, otherwise it would be Postulio, probably.
My hopes and dreams.
Yeah. Let's see. So let's get him a... Atlas, why don't you do... I don't remember what your power set is. Let's do something cool. How about... that. What is that? I don't remember what that even is. So, in the later Warframes, like Atlas, like everything made in the last year or so, the animation effects and the lighting effects that go with that are really interesting and really nice. And so they make really great accents for your Captura. So I like to usually have my Warframes casting powers. In a lot of the earlier frames, like Excalibur and Loki and Nyx, they kind of use a very similar sparkle effect that I don't think looks as great. Still, maybe we'll get to that one day, but for me, I think these look a lot better.
I have 2 questions for you, Shadrad.
What's up?
One, username Reno wants to know what... front.
What?
Username Reno wants to know what brigade do you have in front?
Oh, that is the Stalker Sigil.
Big Jim ID wants to know how much donations for a capture of our choice live on stream.
Ooh. Group capture, eh? I would do that for $25. And that can even be consecutive donations. If we got $5 donations or 2 10s and a 5, I would let the stream dictate the frame and the scene and what it should be doing in the scene, if at all remotely possible. We will try it.
There you go.
So, think about that. Let's see. Come on, Punch Guy, I forgot what you do already. Oh, that's fun. He's got a headache. No, please, sir, no more. So a lot of time I'll spend in Captura with different frames. I'm not sure what I'm looking for. Just going through their animations. You can change the stances and see what their idols are. You can go through the different weapon stances and see what, how the animation is different. For instance, I found a really cool one for Ember, my current Ember. Sorry, Atlas. Let's go over to Ember. And the one I use for the image capture for the advertisements is just a pretty basic one with, I forgot to turn the prime parts off, so that's fine. But I found that her melee animation is actually pretty freaking sweet. So I'll start off the animation. I have it keybound to my scroll wheel. And so I don't even check what stance is on here. But the stance that is on here right now does a lot of really cool, very dynamic wide poses. and so, you know, it really opens up the shot, so you can get a really broad shot. Go down and see, you know, now she's got, you know, the power arcing over her. So that's a really dynamic shot. So it's off center, off to the side a little bit, and you see the motion of her body going down at an angle that gives a lot of action in that really cool sweep overhead. And so that's a cool shot, but the lighting is not really what I want. It's cool, but it's kind of ho-hum. It's kind of just all the same color. So I'm gonna go in and let's see. Let's make it. I mean, let's make it a challenge. So I like the idea of doing pink because we again are trying to remind people that this is for breast cancer awareness, and I think that I'll take some cool shots and I'll post them online. You guys can use them as desktop backgrounds or whatever, as a memento of this very strange 2-hour segment that you're watching. So I have bought all the color palettes. You don't actually really need to use more than the default or the classic saturated. They will pretty much get you where you want to go. The saturated just gives you more intense color and light. So if you're going to spend money on stuff for capture, I would get this one. But there are actually a lot of great pink options for us. We have some really soft ones here. We have, of course, the favored Valentine's palette, where you can really go crazy.
I have a question for you.
What's up?
Shadow C Doom says, how do we show our attempts at showing how creative we can be to you?
In the lower right corner, you will see my Twitter account. You can @ me, and please absolutely post your capture on Twitter and @ me. I would love to see them because I love capture because it's the greatest thing that Warframe has ever given me. So if you want like some feedback, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to be like, oh my god, that's amazing, because that's generally my reaction to all capture. Yeah, that's really the best way to get a hold of me, because my attention is that of a squirrel. Pancakes? Nuts? What? Alright. So I think for this one, because we have such a dark background, and we've got kind of a middling shade of pink for her energy, I'm going to choose a lighter pink for some of the lighting. Now, the closer to a white color that you get, the more of the natural color of the Warframe is going to show. So keep that in mind when you do your fashion frame. If you have like a lot of really bright colors, not all the lights are going to make a huge effect on them. But again, because I have cross process on as my filter, it shows a bit more. If I switch it back to neutral, you know, it's not quite as dramatic. So cross process is easy cheaty way to make it look cool. So I've got that pink there. That's pretty good. Now fill light and rim light are fun because so the main light is usually somewhere up above her head, just giving you the main lighting on your Warframe. The fill light is at a slightly different angle to that, and it will give you basically some cool highlights on the side. So let's do something with some contrast. Oh, not that. That's not. No. Maybe a little bit of blue, just to soften it up. Because if I just used all pinks, it would just have the same muddy look as before, which is bleh. The rim light is my absolute favorite because that will give you the really cool highlights around the side. That, especially if, say, you put the scene lights on and, you know, you have all this background stuff going on, it will help bring out the character from the background. If you see any of my illustrations, I do that way too much because it's a really good shortcut to make the image pop a lot more, and I use it to cheat because that's what artists do. So I think in this case, I'd actually like to make this color match more of her energy color, because this pink is just a little too much. There we go. That's pretty cool.
I have another question for you.
What's up?
Lord says, can you export in RAW for Lightroom? They never used Capture before.
I frickin' wish. Unfortunately, the format is just the same as your screenshot, so it's a JPEG image. And while I really wish I could get a much higher resolution, because I could have fun with that, we are limited to what shows on the screen for now. But also, it to some degree, it wouldn't really be worth it because while Warframe is an absolutely beautiful game, it is still made to run as efficiently as possible, which means that the higher resolution you look at the game, you're going to see kind of the little bits and corners where things aren't, you know, super smooth. Like you can't see it super well on here, but if I zoom in, I'll probably show you. Zoom in a little bit. So you'll see here a lot more of the hard edges, some of the stretching of the mesh, all the stuff that the artists have to do and hide as well as they can to make this game run on a toaster. So here's an area where the seam of the low poly is showing. So even if you backed up, you know, and you had a shot like this, it would still, if you did like a raw sized, you know, really detailed image, it would look a little janky. So to some degree, you're better off just you know, having that size. On the other hand, being able to take capture shots that would let you do printouts would be freaking amazing.
Maximum Joker 869 wants to know, how many times do you do this a day?
Well, in the time leading up to this event, I did about one a day and maybe every 2 days, which was a lot more than usual. But I would say each session, I'll probably spend about 45 minutes to an hour getting the shots I want. Because another tip of photography in Captura, this is true for both of them, take a lot of pictures. Just keep hitting that F6, get as many pictures as you can at different angles. You know, that one's pretty cool, so take that one, and, you know, that her neck is doing some super weird stuff, which can't do anything about, because, you know, animation. But I'll take, let's see. That was not too egregious. So I'll take, say, one like this, and then I'll be like, that's pretty cool, but let me play with the rotation of the light. So, you know, that makes that more severe. I'll take that one, and then, you know, I'll try that one, and I'll change the exposure. So I'll take like maybe 4 or 5 versions of the same shot, and then when I'm done, I'll go into my photo directory and look at them and decide which one I think looks the best. So it's, the sorting is not as much fun, but you do find the treasures that way. Let's see. Other fun thing about Captura is it lets you find all the bugs that the devs probably wish they couldn't see. Like, for instance, the what's a who's it thing, the little attachment is not currently on the right part of the sword. You can see it is attaching not at the bottom, but kind of around here, and it's stretching. So I don't know, maybe they'll fix that. Maybe they won't. I don't know.
Then again, you know, it is natural reverse, or it depends that one way.
Oh no, not the sword, just the decoration. Usually it's at the bottom. It's kind of,
Gotcha?
yeah, Sagatra, that's the word. So they'll fix that sometime, I'm sure. Oh, that's very nice. Let's just pretend her neck isn't weird. And then we're all happy. Take that one. And then, you know, I'll move the animation a bit more. Whoop. your neck's super weird there. Alright, how about we try the... So that was the charge attack. Not the charge attack, the held attack. Nope, that didn't work. I screwed it up. Alright, let's see if it went this time.
231 wants to know, do you ever go into Photoshop or other photo editing tools to add some touch-ups afterwards?
I actually do not. And that's just because I actually find that the capture tool gives me everything I need to get what I want. I find that anything I could do in Photoshop just really wouldn't add enough to be worth the trouble. Now, I have seen some people do some really cool stuff doing composite images of like their Warframe and their operator, which I want to try sometime because that looks freaking cool. But for me, I do not go in and edit them. I just resize them if I need to. Oh, Ember, you're just not gonna do the thing, are you? Let's see. There was one pose I managed to... Oh, there it was. Alright, so I'm actually gonna go in now, and I'm gonna slow down her, her speed. Let's go over here. Because there's one part in that stance that I think looks super neato. I'm gonna try to recreate a shot I did before, but for that to work, I need to turn on... What? So cool! Let's watch that. That's fun. Get it, Ember. Alright, so it's back. So I like doing World on Fire because it gives her these really cool floaty ribbons around her. Which, if they're in the right place at the right time, look freaking awesome. So let's see, I'm gonna aim her toward... Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, there we go, camera. I'm gonna start doing... Mission, and I think it's about... Yes, okay. So this part of her stance animation, she makes some really neat, really dynamic poses that I really like. Here we go. So she raises her one arm up as the sword is back, and her face will just go into her elbow. I guess that's okay. Here we go. You see how her right hand is up in the air, dropping down. Let's go back to the other one. So I think like the pose she has of, you know, being the weight's on her back foot and her body is twisted and she's looking that, you know, the other way, I think looks really super neat. And a lot of time I just will sit and go through stances and animations just to see what looks the coolest. And this is one of the ones that really stood out to me. So that's fun. Let's give that a little more oomph, maybe.
Chat's commenting on how it looks like she's dabbing.
She is absolutely dabbing, and you know it. Ember knows what's up. She's hip. Yep. Perfect. I'm gonna get that shot. Let's get that one lit real nice. Like she's at the club.
Club is also lit.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Some club lighting. Sure. And back to... Oh, yeah. Let's see. I want that rim light just a little more. Whoa. That's not where I thought it was. All right. I want to get a little more light on her face. There we go. You got it, girl. too much sword effect in the way, but I really like this pose. I just think it looks really neat. And we'll do some of that low angle. So here's a problem I'm running into, is that I want to get a lower angle shot, so I don't have as much of this this sword effect covering her face. And that's when I'll actually go back into the field of view. Not to get a bigger picture, but because the camera's running into the geometry here, and can't go any lower, I can cheat it just a little bit by getting to a point where it's low enough, and the expanded field of view is bringing in enough that it puts the effect looking like it's over her head. And then I can take my cool picture. Ta-da! So that's when you'll find these settings to be really useful to play with and get to know what they do, and when they'll turn out to be super useful for you.
And there's a quick recap for people who just joined. This is Captura, which you get in your arsenal.
Yep, it is something that is built into Warframe. It is free, it is awesome. I remember asking DE, could they just have like a room where you went to, you know, take a screenshot and you could change the lights on the walls to give some different effects, because I actually do have, let's see, it's 10:49. I'm gonna Jesus. I am going to show you life before Captura and how we used to do it back in the old days. Let's see. Let's do that one. All right. So this was back before they had Captura, so there was no Cephalon Suda syndicate room. This was actually just, you know, someone standing in the room taking a screenshot with the lighting. Because if you're in the relay, you can go into your arsenal, and then when you take a screenshot that removes all the UI, you just have what's in the background. And that was what we had. I think I did I did that Zephyr one in the relay. I was super proud of that. But that was low tech. That was, you know, you were at the mercy of all the lighting in the relay, which is not very good. You could only have views as far away as your arsenal would allow you to see, which was not very close. You could show off your fashion, but you know, it wasn't that. It wasn't cool stuff like that. I mean, come on. Seriously.
Farrell Knight said she used to make me pose for hours.
I did. In fact, I actually I do have and it was an hour, just, you know, long enough that I could look at the freaking feet of the Hagoromo Zephyr model, because I was trying to draw it. In fact, the first picture of Hagoromo Zephyr I did was prior to Captura, and that was about like 25 screenshots I took of Farrell in our relay, having him stand on a ledge so I could get low enough to look at the feet. But here's Farrell and I pretending to be Hayekas. That was just how you did it back in the old days. You dressed up like Hayekas and put your camera low and took out your UI, and that's what we did. These youngins with their capture, they don't know how good they have it. Anywho. Anything else people would be interested in seeing? Like I said, this is the basic thing I do if I just want to get a pretty picture of a Warframe, you know, in their fashion frame, or just, you know, looking cool, showing off their powers. What I want to try to do next, and I might get Hydroxate to assist, is not only to try different Captura scene, but also to do multiplayer Captura, which I actually have yet to do.
How dare you make me try to cooperate with someone?
Oh, look, I didn't transition the scene because I'm new at this. There we go. Sorry about that. Thanks, chat.
Good point, actually, that one of the people was that they wish they could bring the Conclave Warframes in Captura because some Conclave augments are really cool.
Oh, is that so? I don't see. I don't play much Conclave. Do they give you like really cool effects?
Yeah, they change how it looks.
That's. I guess. Do we have to do Conclave just to get the cool fashion frame? I mean, the answer obviously is yes, but. Let's see. Well, Hydroxy, do you want to hop on and let's try out. Something.
I also want to see some Limbo from you.
Ooh, Limbo. Did I do some good? Let's see. I don't even remember what my fashion frame with Limbo is right now. Whoa! Slow motion also affects your menu. Apparently, that sucks. I should have turned that off. What? I need to fix that. Limbo. There he is. Alright, I'm gonna turn this back to a reasonable slow speed because that's ridiculous. There we go. Hey, there you are.
Get out of the way of your shots.
Oh, what shots? I'll show you the at least the cheaty shot with this really cool thing I enjoy. Because again, the god rays are just amazing. So maybe I can get oh look, he has one too! Son of a bee. Look at that. That's the worst. That really ugh. Let's just Nidus, you are grounded. Alright, I want to see if I could get an image of his really cool, his animation to go in and out of the rift. Because I haven't actually got a good look at that yet. I want to see if I can get it with these really cool god rays, because that's cool. So let's see. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just have him do the animation and then watch it to kind of see what it does. And I missed a little bit, but is his hat falling off? Is he holding onto his hat? Are you serious? That appears to be an actual thing that is happening. That's fantastic. But what I like about it, aside from his weirdo hat thing... No, he's dabbing too! Wow, it's just like an epidemic. Jeez. Alright. But it's a pretty cool dynamic pose. Here we go. So, when you have I actually don't remember the specific term for these, the god rays, they do wash out the image a lot, and so I try to block them out a little bit. Let's see. I just want them a little bit in the background like that. That's pretty cool. Let's rotate the lights. I just realized actually this Limbo is my I did a randomize for his fashion frame. I'm ashamed. There we go. Field view just so I can get the camera a bit lower. And it looks like he is late for class. Now, because you see that his material is pretty dark, that means that the lights are not going to show up super well. So even if you have a really, pardon me, a really bright color, it's just gonna show on some of the specular highlights, so little spots here, little spots here. But sometimes that can be all you need, and of course this rim light just makes all of the edges pop out, which I like to keep. So let's get him in focus with that horrible cyst. And for For some reason in this animation, his hat is effect blurred out, and that is not something that I can change in Captura. Similar to when Nyx does her, I don't play Nyx, I don't know her power names, but when she's sitting in the ball of light and it looks super cool, that effect will distort the camera no matter what, and so it doesn't really make for good Captura, unfortunately. Absorb, that is the one. So it looks super cool, but because the effects are in the game, they're laid over the camera itself. They're not like exactly in this sort of. It's complicated, and I don't actually know enough about it to be saying any of this, but that's what I picked up. There we go. So I like this. He looks like he's late for class. He just needs a piece of toast hanging out of his mouth, and he can be a real anime character. And just dabbing into oblivion. Alright, so what's fun with the big electricity bolt is you can get a really cool dynamic light background, which makes when your Warframes in darker colors, kind of silhouetted, stand out. Oh yeah, and if your shot's not dynamic enough, you can always rotate it up and make it look super art house film. That's nice. Alright, where'd you go, Hydroxate? There you are.
Here.
Alright. Do you want to go try a different scene?
Sure.
Alright, let's see. First I'll get that nice picture of you, because you look very nice.
Thank you very much.
I do not have a particularly good Vauban skin or look.
You got the hip sway from the Mesa stance.
Mmm.
Sass.
All the sass. Let's try. Oh, let's go. I'm gonna save the Teshin's Refuge for last because I haven't played with that much. But I found out some pretty cool stuff in the factory scene, so let's go there.
Ew, we have a fighting hazmat.
Gross. What's he doing here? Hey, Frelling. Getting in on this.
Warframe likes the fast train.
It does. Alright, let me get into something more picturesque. How about could show off my could do mag, I could do frost. Let's do mag. This is my oh, this is fun. So you see, this is some of the camera tricks that they do in Warframe, which are pretty hilarious when you have other guys standing in front of you. Just looks like a mag overlay. And I do not want you here because these guys get in the way. Actually, no, I'm gonna bring my cat just to see how much trouble he's gonna get in. Alright. So this scene is awesome and it's gorgeous, and it's because of that waterfall. Because really, check that out, that's super cool. And there's also this room back in here with some really nice god rays again. But what I really like about this scene is if you take it into the settings and you just, you know, put some lights on your Warframe because it's about to get a bit darker. And suddenly you have this really interesting, it's not quite night, not quite fog, it's just kind of weird looking. But you'll see some really cool light effects happening on the water. You'll see those rays showing up a lot more. And so you can get some really cool artistic shots. This is similar to what I saw. I think one of the winning capture of Hydroid, I think was done similar to this, where they had just the lights down. Kitty, no! the lights down, and they had the Hydroid water tentacles looking super cool, refracting in the light, and that shot was really intriguing, and I'm really glad that it got recognized because it was awesome. One problem I did notice with any of your companions is that whether you have a companion like this or you go into your operator form, the lights that they have on your Warframe stay on your Warframe. They will not follow your operator. You can go hide in darkness. Your cat will not be affected if you change the lights. He'll just kind of stand there and look like a dumbass. And I kind of wish they do something about that because I like my operator and I think it looks cool. But so here's fun. Have you guys done any operator action shots? All right, that's fun. So let's see. I'm gonna turn on the slow motion. Is this what I do for work? Frowling? No. Everybody knows that I don't have a job. I just sit at home and play Warframe. Like everybody else, right? Let's see. I'm gonna turn it to, let's do 4 times slow motion on, no capture dialogue. All right. All right. On the count of 3, do something cool with your operator. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right. Oh, that looks awesome. What's also fun is if you turn off the music, sometimes it'll keep the sound effect looping, which sounds super funny and weird. Let's see. Ooh, ooh.
Speaking of operators,
So,
warrior mode is coming out in...
I know, right? I'm gonna lose about a week of my life, just fooling around. No joke.
This is not a paid advertisement by Warframe.
No, that's just reality. Oh, let's get it. Oh, he's so beautiful. Let's get real up in there. Now, some of the effects, like the operator effects, and in fact, some of the graphics on the Gamma Core, I noticed, do not freeze when you actually stop time and capture. And so if you want a certain lighting pose or something, you will sometimes have to take multiple shots just to try to make sure you catch it when there's the light that you like. It hasn't really been enough of a bother for me to want to, write a post about it, but... Oh, here's another fun trick. So let's say I wanted to get more of a full body shot, but I don't want that Vauban in it, because let's just say I'm snotty and I don't like it. I will straight up just rotate the camera 90 degrees. See what there, and I am in real life tilting my head like an idiot, but it works. Get down. And I'll take the shot, and then when I go look through them in like my photo viewer, I'll just, turn on 90 degrees, and then suddenly you've got a portrait mode picture where all we had before was landscape. So, and then if you do like 45 degrees, halfway mark, that gives it that really cool action-y dynamic look. It's like one of those artsy design things. Straight line up, straight line horizontal are very flat and very inactive, but angles give an image a lot more dynamic appearance, and it can add unease or whatever nonsense you want to pretend it does.
I love how your operator's like, wow, superpower. Mine's kind of like, I just got out of the second dream and I need to go to the bathroom. Look, his pose against good.
I'll take some good shots of yours. Oh, other downside is that the hair on the operators overlays the effects, so you'll get some goofy stuff. Have you done the what school do you have on right now? Like what focus school? Oh, I do too. Well, then it's supposed to be the same.
I can get Baslin.
Ah, so much trouble. You can stay, Frelling. We're just, you know, being dumb in front of how many people? Probably too many.
Too many.
Too many. Alright. Get back in your Warframe.
I'm a floating head now.
I said get back in your Warframe! Alright. And then let's do the void pulse thing. Let's get some distance, alright. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it at Frelling. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Alright. So we'll go by the really weird... Woo, that looks bad. But it looks good in action. I'm going to move it to the point where their hair comes back. Alright, there we go. That looks... Nope, that still looks weird. Weird space kids.
Slam dunk.
It's like some air gear manga. Oh, no, he's dabbing too. Warframe animators. Really? And so this is a time, because you see that the background color is so dark, and because there's not a lot of light, well, no light really, on the operator, he kind of blends into the background, and the effects really wash him out. So this is when I would really love to have more control over the lights, and be able to aim them at my operator, and fix him up a little bit. Oh, look at my cool cat in the background. He's like, sup? Like our crazy eyes. Alright, where's your guy? Where'd you go? There you are. You are all in darkness. Alright, let's move it forward. Woo! You look spooky. And nice. Also, I really hope that they will add in more operator expressions, because as cool as these poses are, they're like not doing anything. They're just like, oh, just laser kid, just doing the laser kid thing.
He likes to read poetry.
Well, right now it looks like he's got a light lance, so I'm gonna take a picture of that, because that looks fucking cool. I mean, freaking cool. I forgot my sign was there. There we go.
Oh my god, that looks cool on your screen. So there's like I'm throwing some sort of spear of light.
Yep.
Gonna get hopefully cat ears in the airport.
That, well, yeah. They know their audience. Let's see. What are you doing there, Shavi? Yep, you're just floating like a weirdo. I'm gonna try to get it when the pulse goes for you, so you'll see how awesome it looks. So you'll get into the I'm a tiny god pose, and then come on, come on, come on. There we go. You have to move it past the point where you see the hair sitting there like a weird thing. The Xeneric effect is actually pretty neato. Let's see, change that depth of field so I can see. So it sends out these waves of light.
Oh man, these kids are creepy.
People want operator beards.
Really?
Yeah. I would like a little goatee. But like, as a child, like basically, like, you know, trying to sprout a few hairs. Like, you're trying, but you're not gonna.
Oh yeah, space puberty. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be something. I mean, I'm still hoping for the April Fool's googly eyes. That's I would quite possibly do unspeakable things. Just one day of googly eyes.
Oh, the voice cracks. The voice cracks like, my operator is strong.
They already kind of sound like that though.
Like the whole war within. I'm not a child. Yes, sir.
Man, if their voice broke during that line, I would have frickin' died. That would have been the best thing. Alright, I'm gonna bring the field of view so I can get a little lower. My cat's just in there like, what is
What
even?
you see all.
He's like, this is fine. Man, so I actually have not played around a whole lot in this scene, so this looks pretty cool.
I suppose you have the book, looks like it. You know the pup that's hanging on the string?
What?
You know the more thin posters they did for the special promos? It's kind of like an operator hanging on a string, or, you know, like puppet.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if I throw an Orpheus over your head while you're about to come out.
Alright, let's move it forward. Oh, there you go. Now I've got, like, these cool, you see the waves come out from in front, and that cool, like, 2D burst, I think looks super cool. So I'm gonna get some of that. Yes. Yeah.
They said that they'll be showing off more operator stuff today on their stream.
Really?
It's not just today, is it? No.
Oh, and she'll stream. I will have to tune in for that. I will forgo sleep even more, because that's really exciting. Because I am all about those operators. Farrell can tell you. That was actually the moment that really hooked me 100% on the game, was the second dream, and when they gave me a little space baby to dress up and take care of. That's my jam. Those cool wings. Oh no! Hydroxy!
No!
No!
Does that,
It's weird because your Warframe's still there.
there you go.
That's
Sometimes
freaky.
when I look at the screenshot, it's like, okay, now I'm gonna disconnect you.
Cool. That's probably how it's supposed to work. What do I know about game dev? In that case, I'm gonna show you something really cool about the waterfalls in this level.
Marlboro Manu wants to know, how many captures have you taken since you started this scene?
Let's find out. Let's find out. Since I started this scene, that's not the right directory. Let's see. 32. My reverse math is very fast. Are you back? Or is you're just... Okay. I thought maybe it was a ghost. Alright. So what I found was really fun with the waterfall here is, while it will distort the Warframe, because that's just the effect on the material, let's see. Turn off the lights. It's spooky time.
Shadrad cannot chase waterfalls.
I don't want to stick to the rivers and the lakes that I'm used to. So I'm going to turn up the exposure on this just to give more contrast between the silhouette of my Warframe and the lights built into the waterfall effect. And now I have, like, it almost looks like she's behind, like, a sheer curtain at some really terrifying burlesque show. I would still be into it, but that's just, Here, get your boobin up here.
I always just find the bullet jumping in so much.
Yeah, it takes some getting used to. A lot of running into walls. Alright. Alright, get back here. And now let's do a cool pose. Do you also have Mesa's pose on?
Yeah.
Well, it is kind of the best one. Let's do your classic dancing. Get your dance on. And now you just look like a creepo.
Around the corner or something.
Yep. I love this. This is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. So you can look, but no touching.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, I'm a dancer. And mine's like, who is she?
Mysterious
Is this a
maiden.
peep show, I see?
This is some good times.
Imagining Cher coming out and I'm like, yeah.
Let's see. Did I saw it there? Let's do that.
So good.
Oh, it's so creepy. Hold on, no. And that looks like a
Lionel Richie now.
yeah. Well, now it looks like a almost like a noir office scene.
Oh, God.
Oh, this is so good. This is so good.
Psycho references.
Yep. All right, now. Oh, right, you can't use transference when you're dancing, which I think is a ridiculous policy. DE.
Incoming transmission, operator.
Big Jim, thank you. He went ahead and took the challenge that I issued. What? All right. What do you guys want to see? Chat, you now get to determine not only the scene, but the warframes in question and what you want us to try to get them to be doing, because that's might be the might test the limit of my capture skill. I guess we'll watch chat and I'll pick the most popular suggestion or any suggestion. Bueller?
What? No, my request. Check the donation.
Oh, I don't have the window up. One second.
They want a kissing scene.
Kissing scene.
Oh, Jim wants to see an Ember Prime with the comb, Aximati, and Guandao. Use orange symbol.
All right. Yeah, sorry I didn't have the page open that would let me see the thing to do the thing. All right.
There's my cat, everybody. Looking spooky. Alright. That's true. You need to do some spooktacular. Alright. Ember. With the comb. Do I even have the comb still? I might not have the comb anymore. Because for a while I didn't have any plat and I was pretty cheap and I didn't like it very much, so I probably sold it. Second choice, Jim? For main? I not even have the Axamati. Nope, I sure don't. But I do have the Guandao. That I can do for you. Actually, I'm gonna turn the lights back on because I cannot see a thing. Oh. There we go. Okay. Back to 5. I think my Ember already has... Oh, she's already in her spooky Halloween theme. What's up with that? I do have the Arcoplasmor because that gun is amazing. And I do have those. Alright, so I guess I'll try to do one of each. And let me get some... Is that orange enough for you? I mean, it's... Well, actually, if I put the cross process on, it'll look a lot more orange. But... Okay. Move it down. Blue lights on. And... let's find a cool spot. I'll find the spot first.
Apparently you can do a slide with a staff or a pole
Incoming
action
transmission,
while it's in
operator.
there.
Zopni! $5, thank you so much. Why are there two of you?
Am I just waiting to you? Or do I have a hammer in my hand?
You have nothing in your hand and you have a double. Capture, why are you so weird? What settings am I playing on? I don't remember. They're fairly high up, mostly for capture reasons. I think my view distance is down a little bit, but my textures are up and my effects are up. Let's go in here. How about... Ooh, that's pretty cool. Alright. So I'm gonna get 3 images. I'm gonna get one with the Arcoplasmor, one with the Axolotl Primes, and one with the Guandao. So I like ones where you can see more of her face, so I'm gonna go to this side because she is right, aiming with the right. I'm going to change it to contrast to brighten the colors. Contrast works a lot better in brighter environments, otherwise everything just looks really a little too crazy and not so good. I'm going to down the scene lights just a little bit. I want to bring out more of her. That arc light, I'm gonna go. So when you're using the filters, it will change how your colors turn out, and so it's a little bit of trial and error. So, you know, even this orange is kind of a brown. Normally in the scene it's like a crazy red, which is not what we're going for. So we're going for really just more of a nice golden orange. So I'm going to use it with light yellow, and that's how that turns out. And I want to see more of, let's get a contrasting color maybe. Well, honestly that actually looks pretty good. So now I want to get the right angle for it. That's really a nice pose. I really wish you guys could see in real life when I tilt my head like an idiot. It's really, well, I like to think it's endearing. It probably just looks foolish. There we go. Let's bring it in focus a bit, but not all the way. I think it looks really nice when you have the depth of field distance, you know, centered on the Warframe, but the depth fairly narrow. So it really is just getting the Warframe and leaving everything else kind of blurry. It's like those early Instagram filters. It really really does that a lot.
Hashtag no makeup.
Let's see. Oh, go. I don't actually. I'm not a fan of that yellow. Whoa. That's not bad though. Golden kind of color. Bring that up. Let's change the rotation. Let's see. That's kind of cool. So the light's actually going past the Warframe and hitting some of the stuff, the roots in the background, which actually adds some visual interest to it, which I kind of like. I'm gonna drop the scene light a little bit more, and I'm gonna up the exposure. And I want to get, let's see, how's that? Light from above, that works out pretty well in the blue. Not bad. Try one like that. Try one like that. And actually, I'm going to get let's get those light ribbons in there because those are really cool. Yeah, there we go. That's Ember. That's how she do.
Bird wife.
What about my bird wife?
Bird wife.
My bird wife. I haven't done a photo shoot with Zephyr in a while. I don't know how to I don't know how to further perfection. She's just perfect. So let's say I don't like where the ribbons are because they're just down there being boring. I can move time forward and move them to somewhere where they're just, that's a little excessive, but cool looking. So to make that a little less glaring, I can lower the exposure a little bit, up the scene light a little bit, and there we go. Alright, now the stilettos. Let's find, nope. Let's find somewhere cool. There's a neat spot. Where was it? I don't remember. Oh, who put that bounce there? I'm gonna use that. That's gonna be fun. Oh no, lame. Didn't do anything. Oh, I have an idea. Let's get a picture in the water. One, because it's ironic, but also because I wonder if I can get a cool reflection effect. I haven't had a lot of luck with those yet, but I want to try. Other problem is, again, camera collision will not go below the water surface.
My camera did.
Well, don't move it, because then you'll get stuck and you'll break the game. Well, not really, but...
Like my camera's underneath the water.
Well, show me your secrets, because I don't know how to do that.
I just bullet jumped at the same time as it slowed it down and my camera got underneath the water.
That's kind of neat. Ooh, yeah, I like that. But it needs... Yeah. That's cool, but what it will look like maybe in less dramatic. Nope, didn't want that. Thanks, though. Go. See my down again. Let's bring all the way down. Nope, stop that. There we go. That's neat. And then I'm going to change the field of view so I can get full body shot. See her little feeties in the water. And... oh, now I'm going with the water. This angle, I'm not going to get a cool reflection, but I'll get workable stuff. It looks cool. Alright, and then the Guandao. By the way, another one of my favorite weapons in the game. I don't remember what stance I have on it, but let's find out. Alright, I think I know what I want. And there. Focus, 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 focus. Nope. There we go. Cool pose, wrong spot. Let's try it somewhere else. Maybe over here in the mud. That's pretty neat. Something about it's not working out. Nope. Yeah. Get some of that clipping. There we go. That's pretty cool. Get some more of that light reflection going. Change. So you can actually even get the depth of field depth so thin that you can just have like, so this just has her helmet in focus, but even like her arms and her legs are starting to blend out, which often looks super neat. Change my field of view back. What?
Have we done our...
Who's the what now?
Have we done our 250 platinum giveaway?
Oh shoot, no, thank you for reminding me, we have not. Can one of the mods get that prize going? Because I think everyone's been really patient with my, you know, hemming and hawing and taking random shots and being like, oh, that's great. No, that's great too. I think the people deserve some money for their time.
I'm literally just flying overhead at me.
Are you? Oh my gosh. All right. That's mods. Mods? Bueller?
More rapport.
Hey Jim, do you want to get these people some plat prizes? 'Cause I don't know how to do it.
Do you know why they call him Big Jim? He's got a big heart.
Aww. He's so cute, and I just missed the shot because I hit the wrong button. And now I'm sad. Guys, just start screaming plat in chat. It usually works.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm lost. Where'd my Warframe go? Oh god, it's so dark. Where'd Ember go? Ah. Go back to home. There we go.
I love how she just like dead, like just the planks. Like
Thanks, Opni. I'm really actually sad I missed your flying Zephyr. Oh man, you're like the Rocket Man! I'm still trying to get that one good shot. The good one that all the good people like. Alright, there you go, chat. See? Plat works. Telling ya. Chat, you guys are great. So now I'm just being indecisive. So how about that dead air? Pretty professional, huh? Hydroxate, why don't you talk about what you're going to be doing in your segment coming up tomorrow?
yes, tomorrow is Sunday. I'm streaming Sunday.
Oh, is it Sunday? Okay, on Sunday.
I'm going to be going over fashion frame.
What does that mean?
Like form of frames, like for good attachments, color, not color theory, but kind of like, you know, good pairing color, the use of desaturated tones versus bright tones, and then kind of some, you know, some looks in different frames I've had myself, and then some community requests.
Fantastic. And so that's really the you know, the other half of having a good capture is having some good fashion frame. Because if you don't look good, you're not going to look good in your photos.
Just keep clicking.
It's just science.
It's all about genetics.
Sapient Prophet. Dead air is fine, the visuals are amazing. That's good to know. Because, ooh. Now, why did my lights go weird?
Stalker.
Stalker! No, I meant my 3 light setup has gone to something else.
It's a Destiny's Child bit.
That probably. Think I'd learn.
Wait.
See, now I'm just not going to be happy with any of these, because it's just not going to be perfect enough. Oh, what am I talking about? Ember's always perfect. See, I'm having trouble because I want to show that it's a Guandao. So I need to show at an angle where you see the blades. Dang it, Bobby. I'm just going to obsess over this forever. The end.
Jason said, I thought the stream was laggy. Turns out she was just spamming screenshots.
Yep. That's how you know you took the picture, when you turn off the dialogue thing. Otherwise, it'd just be it'd be even worse, I promise.
You do real well, your entire game is
I've done that. Although it was probably more of an issue on my end than Warframe, but you never know. Maybe we'll just do all the capture debugging. Oh, come on, Ember. Give me what I want. Which is...
Jen.
No? What?
Vincent's asking, what is the name of a blue gem? And I don't know, is it something...
Oh, well, that... That's another area of, sure, lapidary stuff. What color blue? What quality of gem? There is sapphire, there is, Paraiba tourmaline. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of faceting quality gems. I mean, no, a lot of, actually a lot of gems do come in blue hues. Spinel is a cool one. What am I thinking of? There's a really crazy Apatite. Apatite's a very, like, crazy neon blue color. Kyanite is kind of a mild blue. Iolite is more in, like, the lavender blue colors. I mean, any... Oh, the arcane gems? I'm so hyped for those. I even have a secret project that I'm working on involving them that may or may not have anything to do with actual gemstones. And by may or may not, I mean absolutely does.
Blood diamond.
No. No. That's... no. Connor, no. Alright, maybe this spot is just cursed. Oh no, she's turning the wrong way!
Oh, he was asking for blue gems because he wants to name his blue cravat and he thinks he's going to call it sapphire.
Oh, Sapphire's always a good one. Corundum comes in lots of fun colors. Blue being the most common what people think of in Sapphire, but Sapphire actually comes in pretty much any color you can think of. I happen to like the Paparacha Sapphire, which is a nice kind of sunrise, clouds, peach and orange and pink. It is a very versatile stone that you can, if you find a gem quality one, it will be a reliable cut, not too picky. I actually have a handful of sapphires on my desk right now. They're not faceting quality, but they're pretty cool. My desk is actually covered in rocks. That's just a hazard of being me. Anyway, so I've been futzing around with the same, trying to get the same pose, trying to get the right shot for probably like 20 minutes now, and that's basically the reason that some of my capture sessions will take an hour or more. If I really want something specific, I will putz around until I get what I want, and that's why I never get anything done. Come on, Ember. I wonder what the air attack looks like. That's pretty cool. Look at all that charity in the chat. You guys are great. May the most charitable of you win the 250 plat.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
Oh, speaking of fashion, we should do some capital city fashion.
Yes. Way ahead of you. I'm already in a 4-piece dress.
4? That's too much.
The dress.
That's too much stress.
And then you have a jacket dress. Every treat has got nothing on me.
That's... Man, you guys are lucky I wear clothes.
I'm actually currently in a colored palette t-shirt.
I think I literally am wearing my mom's clothes because I was house sitting last week, and I think because I had to come home and feed my cats, I'm pretty sure I walked off with like all of her comfy clothes. Because I'm a terrible daughter. Except that look, I did this this very mediocre segment on the internet in front of a lot of people to raise money. So she has to be proud of me.
Oh.
Right?
Yokolo won the giveaway.
Yokolo! You did it! You did it so good. I'm so impressed.
You may wish to spend it on capture scenes.
Oh man, I wish you could wear. Well, that's right. Because capture scenes are tradable, you can go to the bazaar or otherwise on the marketplace or the trade chat and see who will be willing to sell you their hard-earned capture. In my case, I have friends who are kind enough to donate, so in this case, I am borrowing this particular capture scene, the Grenier factory scene from Synchro. Synchro gave it to me to borrow for this event, and I will have to give it back, which makes me sad because I haven't found any.
Yokolo didn't answer, so now Heaven's Punisher won the class.
Heaven's Punisher, you usurped the previous plat winner. That's, man, the drama in chat is just, it's like Game of Thrones in there.
Oh, Frank and Daughter said it has been informative and quite a treat, your stream.
Oh, thank you. Don't mind my self-deprecating humor. It makes me laugh because I know I'm awesome. That's what sarcasm's about. It's a higher level of comprehension and humor. But no, like, oh, thank you guys. Like, I really do think that you guys should take advantage of the capture because it is a really, I think it's a really fine gift that DE has given us because fashion frame is super important, and I also find that it's really nice to try to get other people to play the games. Be like, look at these cool screenshots I took from the game, and it looks super appealing. It makes for great promotional materials, and it's fun, and it really lets you practice your creative spirit in a very handy, easy to use format.
Honestly, would be surprised if Primetime will be doing.
Yeah, no, capture on Primetime is loads of fun.
Missy Baby asked, when do we get Arkwing Captura?
Oh man, that'd be so cool. And there's a lot of capture scenes I would really like to have. I hope
Rebecca actually said on Twitter that they were trying to get the planes to be a capture.
they did. They succeeded. It is a very expensive, hard to earn reward in Cetus, but it is there.
Arkwing might work on that. You never know. Because the gear icon now, isn't it? Gear item.
It is. So that, man, the stuff that we're gonna get to do in planes blows my mind. The other good thing about Captura that I use personally, aside from just making pretty pictures, is it is probably the best tool Warframe has given me for the art and fan art that I do, because a lot of times I have trouble seeing the details on the Warframes, and I just, honestly, Warframes are super hard to draw, and I'm not very good at it. So anytime you see me draw a Warframe and it looks pretty good, it's because I've been in Captura taking screenshots and getting the details that I need, because the designs are gorgeous, but it is rough going when it comes to drawing them. So as someone who loves to do fan art and doesn't want to have to struggle quite so much with drawing these beautiful, beautiful space robot ninja things, Captura has been an absolute delight.
And Shadrad, where can they find your...
My what?
Where can they find your art?
Oh boy, I spread it around, so you have to be a detective to find it. I post pretty much all my art on my Twitter feed, along with lots of other nonsense, so if that's not your jam, you don't want to see my art and a bunch of other crap, you can go to my Tumblr, the link of which is in my Twitter profile. It is otherwise known as shadradraws .tumblr.com. I also do have a professional website that uses my real grown-up adult name. It is sarahjoelholstein.com, and I will probably just have to put a link to that in my Twitter feed. And that shows most of my finished stuff. The Tumblr I tend to post, Tumblr and Twitter I post like works in progress and sketches and stuff like that. So those are really the places you'll find my art. I don't post them on a thread on the forums as much anymore. I'm really lazy. So, but I am doing Warframe Inktober this month, and I am trying to do it every day. We'll see. I have a lot going on this month, but I'm looking forward to trying. And it's almost time for Brozime. Brozime? Brozime. So Warframe tradition to not be able to pronounce anyone's name. But seriously, thank you guys for joining me and for asking questions and hopefully being inspired to make your own Captura masterpieces. And if you do find that you can take them into Photoshop and do something really cool with them, let me know, because I don't have any ideas. I was like, I put it in Photoshop and put some text over it. I think it's such a good tool. It doesn't need that much. Ugh. I mean, I probably got some good capturas for you, Big Jim. I just have to sort through them and then decide whether I'm satisfied or not. But I will send those to you on the Twitter, and you can share them with everybody if you like them. Yes. Let's wait.
Say goodbye to Shadrad.
Thank you guys. This has been fun. My mouth is like super dry and I haven't had a drink of water in like 2 hours, which is my fault because I'm dumb. But I really enjoyed sharing this stuff with you guys, and I hope I can if I have something interesting to share with you in the future, I will try to do so. But otherwise, yeah, this was awesome, and thank you guys for your generosity. I hope that you will, I guess, parting thoughts, you know, this is a lot of fun, this event's a lot of fun, and I'm really glad we keep such a good, uplifting community spirit. I just do hope people will remember that beyond all the pink and the ribbons and boob jokes, breast cancer is a serious disease. It kills. It kills people. It will eventually take the life of my mother, and that's one of the reasons I'm doing this, is to try to do what I can for her and for other people in that situation. And again, I feel like there's more hope than dismay, and that's kind of a downer note to end things on, but you know, I just want people to know that it's such a good cause, and I'm so grateful to DE and to Warframe fan channels for organizing this, because this is a big event, a lot of logistics going into this, and you guys are working super hard. So oh Jim, it was my pleasure. Speaking, oh yeah, I already forgot. Ugh. So Jim's been linking on Twitter, but I have done a secret illustration, and I'm really proud of it. It's super cool, and it is, as we reach benchmarks and goals in the fundraising goal, more of the image will be revealed, and when it is fully revealed, there will be, not only will you see a cool thing, there will be a cool thing available for you. That's for everybody. So I hope you guys will continue to donate. I hope you'll continue to support events like these and the great causes that this community, you know, gives up their time and energy for, because that's just the coolest thing ever, and you guys are the best. And I still have a minute. Oh, and I can keep talking. That's sure what people want. Hydroxate. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, when is your time slot again? Sunday. I got that much.
8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Sunday.
8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Sunday. EST. I will try to be awake for that.
I will too.
Yeah. And thank you so much for your help and assistance and keeping an eye on chat, because I am not an experienced streamer, and when I stream like drawing, there's like 3 people in there. So I don't usually have to read chat very much, so it was super helpful, and I super appreciate it.